Hey everybody, Jambart here, and thanks for joining me today on my journey to $1 million. So today is day 47 with Bitpetite and day 21 with Chain Group. And first off, I just wanted to start off with updating on some news with Bitpetite. So I'm sure you guys all experienced that last night Bitpetite, a lot of people were unable to log in last night for about anywhere between a 2 and an 8 hour period. And I actually skipped a day of video because I was going to make a video last night, but then right before I was about to make the video, then the Bitpetite site, I wasn't able to log on. So I was like, it was already at my bedtime at that point, so I was like, you know what, I'll deal with it tomorrow. And so I went to sleep, and when I woke up in the morning, like my email and the comments in the video sections were like, they were blowing up with all kinds of people like, what is going on with Bitpetite? Some people were saying this is their exit strategy, you know, and a lot of other people were saying, I told you this is a scam. And then a whole bunch of other people were like, no, they're just doing maintenance. And some people were like, no, they have to block the site because they are trying to update the site for Monero. And a lot of people are saying they're going to be adding a wallet, and so that's why they had to put the site down. So, you know, who knows what is actually going on here with Bitpetite. There's just really a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. FUD for all you acronym people out there. So, but what I do know is that when I woke up in the morning, the site was then working. So I was able to make a withdrawal, and you know, everything on the site was working with some caveats. So there was a few things that were a little bit different. First of all, it did take a little bit longer to log onto the site. The site does seem to be running a little bit slower than, you know, if you were going to put it probably like 20% slower. And then also on the login, it took me about 45 seconds to do the actual login process. Instead of, normally it happens right away, but this time it took about 45 seconds. I clicked on the button, and about 45 seconds later, then it went on to the next screen. And I know that's not my internet because, you know, all the other websites came up okay. So, you know, it's got to be on their end with the server. So you know, I'm not really sure what happened. I'll tell you what, if the Monero thing is true, that would be really cool, because then that would show that they are expanding and you know, moving into new territory, which is always, growth is always good for business. So I want to show you a few things. So I did make a withdrawal this morning. I actually made 3 withdrawals today because, you know, I'm waiting to see like how it's performing throughout the day. So the first withdrawal that I made this morning, right when I woke up, I got all my Ethereum and my Litecoin, but my Bitcoin is still pending. And then, so I made a midday withdrawal, and you can see here that my Bitcoin is still pending, but the Litecoin and Ethereum has gone through. And then about 15 minutes ago, I made a withdrawal here, and you can see that the Litecoin and the Ethereum has gone through again, but the Bitcoin is been pending. So once again, with the Bitcoin pending, someone in the comments had told me that they had talked to customer service, and customer service said that they will be doing all the Bitcoin transactions tonight. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what, you know, they said. And the next thing was, if you know, if they're not going to do them tonight, then somewhere they're stalled in the system. And so I don't know what it's going to take to resolve those withdrawals. So we shall see. I encourage you to remain patient and calm. Okay, up here, a couple of other things that are a little bit different. So I did notice that this dividend portion right here, right now you see that it's clicking down. So for the most part, that was the same for me, but I did notice today there was a period where I looked at the dividend and it said 30 minutes until my next dividend. And normally I'm used to anywhere between 30 seconds and 2 minutes for my dividends to come to me. And the reason for that is because, you know, as you can see here, I have daily deposits that I do that are just stacked up on each other. And because I have so many that are stacked up on each other, it's really, you know, anywhere between 30 seconds and 2 minutes, I get a dividend, you know, all day long from all my Bitcoin and Litecoin. And so when I saw one that was 30 minutes, you know, I thought that was very odd to see that in the next dividend window there. So I don't know if that's just if that's some kind of holdover. I mean, you can see here every time I hit refresh, I'm close to 0. Which is the way that I'm used to seeing it. But I did see the one Bitcoin one for 30 minutes there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. All right, so Litecoin and Ethereum, obviously no issue for Bitpetite, but the Bitcoin still pending. So let's see, I wanted to do a quick deposit, and just so we can see like how fast the deposits are going in. And so I got my schedule here. So I missed yesterday, so all I do is just make up for it with this right here. So today I'm going to put in 1.0772 on my on Bitcoin here, or I'm sorry, Litecoin. 1.07. I actually have to put 92 because I have to make up for, with my EOBot wallet, I have to make up for the the fees. So they put 0.002 Litecoin is the fee for transmittal here. And so let's go back to, let's go 9 week Litecoin, and we'll put in 1.0772 in that, and we'll go ahead and get the address. So we'll see how long. There we go. So that was a few seconds longer. And let's go back to the wallet here, type that in, and we'll hit withdraw on my EOBot wallet. And so that should be good there. Usually with this wallet, it takes the withdraw portion takes a few minutes to show up in my EOBot wallet, but typically the deposit portion is pretty quick. Yeah, there you can see. So that was only about like 5 to 10 seconds, and now you can see my deposit is in the pending status right here in Bitpetite. So that's the Litecoin one. I'm not even going to try the Bitcoin one, just because I think it might take a little bit with the way that with the way that the system's going. Actually, you know what? For demonstration purposes, we'll do it. We'll do it here. So let's go Bitcoin. I don't mind doing it. Let's make the investment. Oh, actually, let me get the right amount here. So today, actually, because I missed yesterday, so I'm going to go this plus that one. So today I need to put in 0.019 Bitcoin. So I'm going to put 0.019 Bitcoin in the 9 week option. Get my address here, and just waiting for that. Okay, got it. Go to my blockchain wallet. Okay, that was my Ethereum showing up here. So we'll go to the Bitcoin wallet here, and we will send. And we're going to send, I forgot how much are we sending? 0.019. Okay, 0.019. Okay, so I'm going to do regular. Well, let's try priority just because. See if that helps it go through. So we'll send the Bitcoin over there. It's being confirmed, and then we'll come back here to Bitpetite and see if it shows up in the pending status. Let me just refresh the page, and let's see what we got. Okay, so it did not show up yet. Let me try refreshing again. Okay, so it didn't show up yet, so we'll see how long it takes to show up there. And so just so you guys can see, yep, I would hold off, at least for a little while, I would hold off on making any Bitcoin deposits here in Bitpetite. So let's kind of just let that play out. Oh, here's what I'm talking about. All right, see my dividend here, 43 minutes. That should not be the case at all. All my dividends should be much sooner, between 30 seconds and 2 minutes, just based on the averages of what I've seen from all my deposits. So it seems like Ethereum and Litecoin are, no issue, but the Bitcoin is acting kind of weird here on this website. So I would hold off for a while on Bitpetite until they can work out the kinks and see what happens. Yep, still hasn't shown up. All right, for as far as the tracker, a lot of people have been asking me for this tracking sheet here. Once again, I mean, I can send this to you, but really this tracker is just for my own, edification here. A better way for you guys to do it would be to come here on the Bitpetite strategy one, the calculator that I send out regularly to everyone. And so just for example, state what I think is a better option for you guys is to take this spreadsheet and make a copy of it. So now you have two spreadsheets, and you have one spreadsheet that you can play with the numbers on, and the other spreadsheet that you can track your progress on. And so so let's say you wanted to use this spreadsheet to be your tracker, right? So let's say you started with $500, and you're like, okay, so the first day is easy because you're like, okay, I put in 0.3 Litecoin. That was the amount that I made, and then 24 hours I made a deposit of 0.3 Litecoin, and now my total here is 8.6. All right, so I'm going to zoom in and make this easier for you guys to see. Then the next day you're like, okay, well, how much Litecoin do I need to put in the next day? Okay, well, you could wait for 0.25, or if you're like me, I do it once a day. So at the end of the day, I just come in and I put in the amount. And so I'm like, okay, how much do I need to put in today? You just read right off here. Okay, 0.31 Litecoin. That's how much I need to put in. So I put that in, and then I just mark the day off as, yep, I put it in that day, and now I wait till the next day. The next day when it's 8.9, you're coming here, and let's say you wanted to reinvest, but you got distracted, and I don't know, you went to dinner and then forgot about it. So let's say you forgot that day. So all you have to do, if you didn't do it on a certain day, just put 0 in that. And what that's going to do, see how here it didn't add a reinvestment portion. So then now right here, all you have to do is you got to make up for this day right here. So you got to add these two together, because this is your daily interest yesterday and this is your daily interest today. So just add those two together, just hit the equal sign, and then this plus this one, add those together, and that equals the amount that you're going to reinvest for that day. So then you go ahead and highlight it. Actually, just highlight them both because those days are both in the past. And then the whole spreadsheet, it updates based on the number that you put right there. And then on the day that you withdraw, you just highlight that, and you should be withdrawing that amount. And if you didn't withdraw that amount, just put a different number in there. Put a different number in this one right here and in this one right here, and that'll let you know which things let you know what you did, and then it'll keep track of it, and then every time you do that, it'll update all the numbers down below. So that way you can use it as an actual tracker. And not only that, but here, the problem with my spreadsheet right here is this doesn't account for the price that you start with and the price that you end with, right? But this one does. So let's say you bought in this $500 when Litecoin was $60. But let's say by the time you finish your process here, let's call it in 180 days, you want to know, okay, how much money am I going to have in 180 days? So you would click, you could just estimate. Let's say Litecoin is $80 in 6 months from now. And then you come over here and you put 180 days. And then let's just zoom out so you guys can see that. Okay, so in 180 days, you're going to have $1,853, by following the schedule at this price appreciation. So, but let's say that Litecoin didn't go up at all. Let's just say it stayed the same. So you just put $60 here. So you have, this is what you started with, this is what you ended with, and you can see here this is the price accumulated using this strategy down below. Okay, so that's how you can use this sheet as a daily tracker of what you should be reinvesting. So yeah. Okay, enough on Bitpetite. Let's see if that Bitcoin transaction came in yet. Okay, no, it still is not. It's not even registering in here yet. So only the Litecoin went through. Now the Litecoin, the confirmation is happening pretty fast. So once again, obviously that was the reason they created Litecoin, because they wanted it to be a faster Bitcoin, and it's proving itself, here and now. Okay, on to Chain Group. Chain Group's a little bit easier to deal with because once you invest your Bitcoin into Chain Group, then it's inside the system, inside the Chain Group system, and then you can just stay inside the Chain Group system, and you don't have to go to your external wallet, kind of like you do with Bitpetite. So with the Chain Group, super easy. Once you make your deposit, it'll show up here in the total amount, and then you have to tell it where to go. And your invested, when you first start off, your invested amount will show 0 until you invest in a trade group. And then once you invest in a trade group, then you'll see that this number goes up to whatever you invested. So our daily payout, so today we made $32 off of our $1,300 right here. And so we're going to go ahead and reinvest that. And I'm going to do $21 in Dragon Group, and I'm going to do $11 in Bitstrong. And okay, so once again, you know, I got my little tracker here, and I'm you know, just showing you guys how to do this. So all I did, same thing before, is I made a copy of the regular chain group calculator. So we have our regular chain group calculator here, right? This is the one I mess with to see what I would get. But to see what my actual stats are going to be, this is my chain group tracker, and all it is a copy of the original. So I have one copy that I mess with and one copy that I track with. And you guys can do the same thing there. So here we can see that, all right, so for Dragon Group, like I said, I'm going to put in $21, and I actually prematurely highlighted that. So I'm just going to put $21 in there, and then it'll adjust everything. And then in Bitstrong, I'm going to come down and I'm going to put $11, and that'll adjust everything there. Okay, so I come back up here, and to do the, another cool thing, this is a new feature down here. So if you were wondering how much you had with them, all you have to do is click on one of these, and it'll tell you the history of all your investments. Of course it logged me out. Okay, hold on, let me log back in. Sorry guys. Just do this quickly. Sometimes if I ramble on for too long, it likes to kick me out. And which is a good security thing. Remember, always do your 2-factor authentication, and that will prevent you from getting hacked. It'll prevent other people from coming in and taking your money. All right. So here you can see that these are all the history of all my reinvestments and my initial deposits here with Bitstrong. So that was a kind of nice thing that they put here under the investment section, where you can see down below. You can see here, this is just the summary, and then if you click on it, you can see the actual details. Okay, so to invest in a trade group, obviously we just hit trade group up at the top, and then we come down here. And so like I said, I'm going to invest in Bitstrong. I'm going to use $11 for them. So I'm going to do 11 right there. And then we just come down. We check that we have understood the rules, and then we hit invest in Bitstrong. Okay, and then that's in there. You can see the available balance went down to $21. So the next one we're going to go to is the Dragon Foundation. Okay, so let's go down to the Dragon Foundation, and the order of these switches every day based on, you know, who's getting more return that day. So if you're the winner with you had the highest returns that day, then your trade group is at the top. Okay, so we're just investing in there, and all right, so there we go. We reinvested all our money into that, and then that's our total. And so the reinvestment process is super easy with chain group, and you know, you don't have to take it to an external wallet, which is really nice. And another reason that I like chain group is, well, there's a plus and a minus. A minus is that you can't, if you invest in Bitcoin, you actually get paid US dollar, and then when you do a withdrawal, you have to exchange your US dollar back to Bitcoin and then put it to your wallet. So you're losing a little bit there. If the price of Bitcoin appreciates, then you're losing the ability to buy more Bitcoin with your money. But on the opposite end, I like it because you don't have to do any outside transactions, and because it has such a long term. So like the chain group, Dragon Group here has a 180-day term, while the Bitstrong has a 100-day term, and both of those are longer than, and it's every day, including the weekends. So that's longer than some of the other platforms out there. And what that allows to happen is that allows you to compound your money longer. And the longer you can compound your money, the greater the gains you're going to get. So, with Bitpetite, I put in $350 initially, but here with Dragon, if I put in $350 initially, you can see that at 2.25%, which is the average, in 1 year, I will have accumulated $57,000 versus with Bitpetite. If I go back to Bitpetite and I do this one, so I'll keep the price the same here. Let's go $350, and in 365 days using Bitpetite, I'll only have made $26,000. So I can actually make double with the Dragon, with the Dragon Foundation inside of Chain Group. So using Chain Group, I can make $57,000 versus with the Bitpetite, same strategy, I only accumulate $56,000. So once again, that's why I like both programs. But at the same time, Bitpetite pays me out in Bitcoin. So you see here, I bought in at $3,700, and right now Bitcoin is worth $5,800. So in 1 year, I'll make, if Bitcoin never goes up anymore, in 1 year I'll make $46,000. But let's say in 1 year from now, Bitcoin goes up to $10,000. Well, now I got $80,000 that I got from Bitpetite. So it's a trade-off. With Chain Group, yes, you make more money, but you don't take advantage of the price appreciation. But with Bitpetite, you make less money, but you get to take advantage of the price appreciation. So it's a trade-off there. Okay. Last thing that I want to talk about here is diversifying, and that's because obviously there was a Bitpetite scare last night, and everybody's afraid, that that Bitpetite will disappear. And let me first say this, right? As soon as the website came back up, everybody and their mother across the earth tried to do a withdrawal at the same time, and Bitpetite was able to take that with Ethereum and Litecoin, and they were able to keep running. Like, the website's still up, it didn't crash the website. All it did was just put the Bitcoin in a pending status. So that means that what that tells me is that they have the structural ability to be able to handle that kind of transaction and that kind of business and a mass withdrawal at the same time. So that kind of speaks to the longevity of Bitpetite. But on the other hand, obviously did cause problems with the Bitcoin. And so that's why I talk about always stay diversified, because let's say there was a catastrophic thing that happened with Bitpetite last night, and we all lost our money in that. So if that's the case, then you can see my pie here on the right. This is my cryptocurrency portfolio. Bitpetite makes up 10% of my cryptocurrency portfolio. So if they would have had a failure last night, or they went down or bankrupt or whatever, then I'd lose 10% of my portfolio. But I would still have the other 90% of my assets creating income for me. And so that's why I say diversify, so that way if one leaves, that you still have other income sources coming in. And then not only that, the cryptocurrency portfolio is only 10% of my total portfolio. So if I lose 10% over here, I'm really only losing 1% of my total portfolio. And so I still have 99% of my total portfolio producing income for me. So that's what I say. That's how I reduce my risk, is by spreading out my investments. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. And like I said, plenty of times before, guys, everything with cryptocurrencies, everything with these websites is super, super risky. Don't invest any money that you are not willing to lose, because this is a totally unregulated area. Nobody's watching over it. There's no Bitcoin internet police. This is the wild, wild west of investing. So take that into consideration when it comes to your investment decisions. Okay, thanks for watching today, guys. I'm going to be making a couple other videos and releasing them this weekend, but I wanted to get this one out right now. See you tomorrow.